So Loki might like be breaking the series at this point with how powerful he is. In chapter 1170, it was finally revealed like what Ragnir is, his hammer, his Mjolnir equivalent of this series, and seemingly it has eaten a devil fruit. And it hasn't been said outright that it has, but come on, we see it transform into this squirrel. And we've talked about this before. The squirrel is very likely based off of the Norse mythology of Ratasker. I don't know. Let me know in the comments how angry you are with me mispronouncing this name, but it's like the legendary squirrel or whatever. That's probably what the fruit's going to be. The mythical Zhoniin Ratasker. I don't even know what the pre of it would be. The dog fruit, something like that. I don't know. Squirrel fruit, Ratasker. I don't know. But anyway, it has those powers. We don't know fully what those powers are. I don't know if the lightning ability that comes with that is a part of the devil fruit. It remains to be seen. But he has that. So that's ultra powerful. And on top of that, we saw that he did in fact eat the legendary devil fruit of Elbaf, which we don't know what it is, but it seems to be a Zoan. And then, on top of that, he has whatever his eyes are. He was born with these crazy eyes, which seems to be some kind of recessive supernatural ability or something that probably goes back to the Void Century, which we don't know the abilities of it yet. And then on top of that, it was also revealed that he has Conqueror's Haki. So Loki has 4 ultra super powerful powers in this series, which no other character has so far. He has 2 devil fruits, he has the eye powers, and then he has Conqueror's Haki. So, what do you make of that?
Loki is an anomaly. He just keeps on getting more. It's almost crazy how many buffs Oda can give to a single character so quickly. But it makes sense, right? Like, we're in that point in the story where everybody we meet going forward has to be a certain power level, or else they're just going to be underwhelming when compared to Luffy or the big bad of an arc, which is either going to be Garling, Shamrock, or Emu, or Blackbeard at this point. So it's like, yeah, Loki, any character in his position being introduced right now, they gotta be that guy. So it's not surprising. It's just funny when you like list it all out on paper. Like, yeah, like he's busted, man. He is literally just that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to see this. I wanted to see a character eat a devil fruit and then have their weapon eat a devil fruit. When it was revealed that Shamrock had his sword eat the Cerberus fruit, and I was like, well, why not just go further? Why not just eat a devil fruit and then have your weapon have a fruit, and then just have like another one? Just have 2 weapons with 2 devil fruits eating them, and then you have a fruit. So you have 3.
God.
Yeah, you have 3 powers where you're circumventing the system. Because allegedly you can't eat 2 devil fruits or you'll explode or something, which Oda has never explored for some reason. I want to see somebody try that. Be like, I think this might be hype. I'm going to eat 2 devil fruits because
Blackbeard and they just die.
Did it. Yeah, they just don't. And they were like, oh, it was a lie this whole time to keep us from not eating it. You know, like that old thing, like, don't go into the woods, it's bad or whatever.
Yeah.
You go into the woods and there's nothing. They just didn't want you to leave. And probably you can't eat that 2 devil. I'm sure somebody in the last 1,000 years or 800 years, however long devil fruit has existed, has probably tried that and they probably died. But as for Blackbeard doing it, there's 100 explanations of what's going on with him. But what do you think Loki's, like, the devil fruit that he ate is? Because that hasn't been revealed. We don't even know what it looks like. We just saw the silhouette of it on the wall. And I talked about it in my videos, and you talked about it in your videos, but I'm curious as to what you think it is.
I've seen a lot of chatter online. People are saying, actually pretty convincingly so, that it is Nidhogg or Fenrir. I don't think it's either one of them. I don't really have a solid pick myself. If I had to pick from those, I'd say Nidhogg, but you know, the mythology lines up to a point where it's almost too good. And the reason I'm hesitant to say Nidhogg, despite a vast majority of people believing it's that, is just because we've seen Nidhogg already in this arc. Like, it feels like Oda's going through a Norse mythology checklist. We got Draugrs, Ratatoskr, we got Jormungandr, we got Nidhogg, we got Fenrir, we got Odin's crows, we got Sleipnir. We have so many Norse monsters already. It feels like Oda's just like marking them off a freaking checklist. So because Nidhogg was already on that list and he's been checked off, that is why I don't want to say Loki's that guy. Could be wrong. Obviously, the version of Nidhogg and all those other monsters we saw, most of them were just through nightmares. So maybe the real thing is just going to be that much more impactful. Maybe it'll look that much more scary through Loki. But I just feel like because they were shown there, it's not going to be that. But I do like the idea of a dragon Loki, though. I think there's other things we could do with Loki that are unique to the verse of One Piece. Like, I think the Hellfire Serpent is a really great option. Maybe there's a dragon in One Piece that's mythical and only exists in verse, kind of like Nika. Nika is uniquely crafted by Oda to fit in the universe, and it takes up the role of the sun god. I wouldn't be shocked if Oda does something similar with Loki, where he's something from the Void Century or beyond. And yeah, it looks like Nidhogg, or it is a dragon, but it has a different name entirely. And with that, Oda would be able to give it unique powers as well, which technically he kind of already did with Nidhogg because he made it a lightning dragon, but yeah, I'm just going to go with something that's unique to the verse of One Piece. I think that's where I'm at today.
Hellfire Serpent is actually a good candidate. Because allegedly this is like something that existed before the Void Century or in the first world, according to the mural on the Atom Tree. When we see like the big serpent thing fighting what I think is the celestial dragon, which is the root of all Emu's powers, like the devil itself. Not confirmed, I'm just taking a guess here. Like, this thing is inherent to Earth, the Hellfire Serpent, and then this is like from the moon or from space in some extent and trying to take over Earth, and they're fighting each other. And another thing, I think this is where you were getting at as well, we see like those markings on the Hellfire Serpent, like that strip with the and we see that on the Loki equivalent of the Void Century. Like, when everyone's fighting against what is implied to be Emu during the Void Century, on the left side of the mural, there's that ancient giant guy that just looks pretty much just like Loki. He's freaking huge. He's with Joy Boy. And he has that mark on him. The same as the Hellfire Serpent does. And I guess we were assuming a lot about that. Inherently, we thought, oh, maybe that has something to do with his eye abilities or something. But maybe it's just the devil fruit. Because devil fruits are just ideas. Right? I mean, what did Vegapunk say? They're dreams of people or something?
Yeah, they're the beliefs of man. Beliefs and dreams and just all the realities that could exist, essentially.
So, if Nika, Sun God Nika, if that was like a person, that his idea or the memories of him or people wanting him to come back or be like him led to the devil fruit that Joy Boy ate and now Luffy has, the same thing could have happened with the Hellfire Serpent. Like, if he was the protector of Earth or the guardian of Earth or whatever at that time, there's the idea or the memory or, the same thing that happened with Nika could have happened to that devil fruit. And if that is the case, then that's easily one of the strongest devil fruits ever. Because I guess that's why it is the legendary devil fruit of Elbaf. Because it's the freaking Hellfire Serpent, one of like the big three mythological beings of the One Piece verse, or it's implied to be. Where did the fire come from in when Loki is fighting Harold in 1170? Do you remember?
It actually looks like the fire was there before Loki showed up. I'm not as confident in that right now, but I remember like when the chapter came out, I was like, wait a minute, like, does Loki have fire powers too? But he still might, but I think the fires were already there before Loki showed up.
Well, regardless. Also, the Hellfire Serpent, as we see on the mural, is freaking huge. It is gigantic. And Loki, when he transforms, gets even bigger somehow. He's already the biggest person in like One Piece, without a devil. He might even be like the size of San Juan Wolf or something, maybe, possibly, or he's rivaling that. San Juan Wolf, one of the Blackbeard pirates, he was a giant inherently, then he ate a devil fruit that made him even bigger. Regardless, he's freaking huge. And him and Harold are essentially at the same size, like two massive guys, ancient giants or hybrids or whatever. And the devil, once he transforms, he gets even bigger. Like, his hand is able to take Harold's head in his hand. So maybe that could be a clue as to him having the Hellfire Serpent devil fruit.
Yeah, I like it. Loki being that serpent, I think would be really cool, because it just makes you wonder like how it would work with the Sun God Nika fruit, like in tandem. Because in the mural, in the Harley text, we heard that they fought each other, right? I believe it was the Earth God set the Hellfire Serpent against Sun God Nika. So it's like, yeah, like imagine current day, they're just working together instead.
Because, I mean, yes, that would also parallel to the Void Sentry as well. Or, you know, we see that everyone is not everyone, but almost everyone is working with Joy Boy, especially the Loki equivalent of that time. So we could parallel to this with him just having the Hellfire Serpent fruit. So aside from that, we also talked about him having these eye powers, question mark. It doesn't we don't even know if they have powers attached to them. It's battle manga.
It just feels like it. Yeah.
I mean, I would ask you, like, what do you think it is? But there's no hints or clues as to what it could be. He hasn't done anything to show that he even has powers from them. They just look cool. They kind of look like the Eye of Sauron, as we talked about when we first saw them. I mean, do you have any hints, or is there any hidden messages in the kanji or the katakana that, you know, shows us what they could be?
Oh, as far as that goes, no. I have no real clue. I like the idea that it can control an ancient weapon, or it gives him like an affinity towards an ancient weapon, but that's pretty much it. Like, I'm not too sure what else it could do. Mind control would just be a weird one to give him. Just like, oh, you look into Loki's eyes and it makes you crazy. Like, I don't know if that's it, but yeah, I'm down for any powers, really. We don't have a lot of ocular powers in One Piece right now, if I recall correctly. So yeah, if Loki being like a first of, like he has the Sharingan, sure, give it to him. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Because, yeah, Oda hasn't tapped into that yet, the eye powers thing, which isn't attached to a devil fruit or anything. You know, Naruto and One Piece share a lot of similarities anyway, so let's just keep going further. Let's just have the Sharingans or the Byakugans, just put eye powers out there. Why not? And especially if it's just
we got crazy eyes already. We got like the Emu eyes, but like nobody even knows what that means, right? Because Emu has it, Mihawk has it, and then Caribou has it, as well as Cavendish. And it's like, okay, like what's really going on with this?
Yeah, I mean, there's some kind of Void Sentry lore to the eyes for sure. The double ringed eye.
Yeah. Caribou's got to be the weirdest one with it, though. Like when we talk about like the whole Void Sentry stuff, it's like, okay, Caribou though, why him?
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it, because I would say that, like, oh, they're just different. But no, they're pretty similar to Emu and Mihawk's eyes, which is strange. But obviously there's some meaning to that. I guess Caribou is significant in some way. Then it was revealed that he has Conqueror's Haki. Like, Carol essentially says that you have the Conquerors running in your blood or whatever, which means that he has Conqueror's Haki. So it goes back to what we were saying in the beginning. Loki has everything that you need to be one of the most powerful characters, because 2 Devil Fruit abilities, eye stuff, whatever that is, and then Conqueror's Haki. He's essentially unstoppable, although he's not, because he was defeated by Shanks, which is crazy, because I guess he had Ragnir with Rataskir when he fought him, and he still lost. Like, how? Wow.
Yeah, dude, Loki's a monster, brother. Conqueror's Haki, and then people are saying he even has like Future Sight too, right? Because of the whole Gunko interaction. Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a 5th ability, but he has everything. And, I guess we talked about, this was one of our first Loki videos that we made. We were talking about how strong he is in comparison to the rest of the characters, but he's easily Yonko level, for sure. And he's probably stronger than Big Mom and Kaido. What do you think about that?
I think it's too soon to say. Like, in a 1v1, I still would err towards Kaido, just based off experience. I almost want to give him the Big Mom W, though. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, just Big Mom, I get that she's strong. It's just that I wish her fight was a little bit more intense. But, yeah, I feel like I'd still give the old gen, like, a lot of credit. Like, Big Mom and Kaido, yeah. If they win over Loki, I'm not, like, mad about it. Loki is still pretty new. He's still pretty green. And he lost to Shanks, too, right? That's the reason why Loki's chained up current day. He lost to Shanks. And I'm not saying, like, Shanks is, like, a different level than, like, Kaido and Big Mom, but he kind of is. So it's like, yeah, like, I think he's not there yet.
I mean, it also really depends on how strong Harold was when he fought Loki.
Yeah.
Because Harold was essentially on par with Rox back in the day. And aside from
And he got the God Knight buff.
Yeah, and he had the God Knight buff. And aside from Emu, Rox was maybe number 1 pound for pound. I mean, you could say maybe Garp. It doesn't seem like Roger was. at least from what I took away from God Valley, it doesn't seem like Roger was fighting for number 1. It seemed like it was like Garp and Rox that was really going towards that number 1 spot. And then Harold, I guess, who was fighting on par with Rox. So if Harold maintained that strength up until the point that he fought Loki, along with the Covenant buff, Loki was fighting on par with him, and Harold was like possessed for a lot of that fight. He was trying. It wasn't like he was holding back. He
wasn't holding back.
No. So Loki, yeah, I mean, I think he is already maybe top 5 ever in this series, especially with all the abilities he has. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because I mainly wanted to make a video talking about how ridiculous Loki is, because it really dawned on me. I was like, wow, he's the only character who has 2 Devil Fruit abilities aside from Blackbeard, by eating it and having it in his weapon, which I think maybe we'll see more of going forward. But that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Check out Sai's channel, link in the description as always. Like the video if you liked it, and we'll see you in the next one.